Hello everyone, welcome back to Agentic SAP YouTube channel. In our last video, we used Joule's explain feature to understand the RAP layers inside our package. We understood layer by layer like database tables, then data definitions, and base entity view and projection view entity. What is the difference between them and behavioral definition, service binding, and all right. And we also try to enhance in projection view to calculate a discount price using case statement and all. We did give a prompt to Joule, and Joule only helped us with code and told where to apply which part of code needs to be replaced and all right. But as a developer, we shouldn't just copy paste whatever Joule proposes. We need to understand the design, cross question the AI, and we should act as a developer or like architects of our own solution, because there might be error, there might be syntax error in what Joule is giving. So the basic understanding of what needs to be corrected and uh, what needs to be applied to our code is necessary. So today we are continuing exactly where we left off. So we are going to see Unit 3, Task 3 and 4 of Fusion Development Workbook. In Task 3, we are going to use Joule's predictive code completion, or we also call it as a ghost code to write a RAP determination. So determination is different from CDS calculation we tried last time. So determination, nothing but it actually calculates the data at runtime and it persists it in our physical database tables when a user clicks save. Okay, we will see that in detail, and then we will talk about task for adding sales order creation inside S/4HANA Cloud. So here I want to be honest, our standard trial account doesn't have live S/4HANA system or destination services connected, and I don't have S/4HANA trial account either. So I'm not going to show a live click and create demo on S/4HANA because I don't want to set false expectations now. Instead, we are going to check this theoretically. I will show you exactly how the architects design this outbound connection using service consumption models and OData client proxies, explaining the trust chain destinations and architecture diagrams so that you can understand this concept. So let's deep dive into this. So in this video, we are going to add determinations. So we are going to determine book age value. So we will take the published year or published date of book, and we will take the current year and current date, and we will subtract the date or year, and we'll try to find the book age field value. So before we write any ABAP code, let's understand how data is calculated in the modern SAP Cloud. Okay, as developers, you must understand the distinction between query time calculation and transactional persistency. So we'll do a quick comparison. So in the calculated field in a CDS view, so this is like a query time calculation. It runs at the exact moment a user requests to read or view the data. So that calculation is exactly directed by in-memory SAP HANA database engine, but because it is calculated in runtime or on the fly, it is transient, meaning it is read only and it is not physically stored in our database tables. If you want to store the data in database tables, then you have to go to behavioral definition determination. So this is triggered during the transactional save sequence. So it runs on the ABAP application server and it's part of SAP logical unit of work. So when a user creates a new bookstore entry or updates the published date, the RAP transactional engine it passes before committing the data to transparent database table. It invokes our custom ABAP code first, calculates the bookage field, and writes that value to the transactional buffer, then commits the entire package to physical HANA table in one atomic step. So it is persistence, meaning the calculated view is physically returned to the database table. So this is a standard pattern of modern clean code development. We keep our data model clean and encapsulate transactional logic in the behavioral layer. So we are going to add determination in the behavioral layer only, uh, in the behavioral definition projection view entity. So now let's explore how the A is actually suggesting this code. I'll directly jump to Eclipse now. Okay, now we are inside our package which we created in last video. So just follow my clicks. But before that, to add the logic in BDF definitions, we need that bookage field in our database, right? Like we have to add this field across our entire RAP business objects, right? Because this, when we created this, when Joule created this for the first time, the bookage field was not there in any of the layer. If you see this database tables, there is no bookage field actually here. There's bookstore ID, title, author, price, published date, um, price, currency, everything is there, but not the bookage field. So what we're gonna do, we will have to add the bookage field in the layers wherever it is necessary. So first we will update the database table, that is, I mean, in both the database tables, draft database table and the database table. So for that, you need to expand dictionary and then database tables, mm, open these two database tables and add this bookstore field here. Just a minute. I have this ready already. I'll just copy from here. Just to save time, I copied it here. So I'll just save this and activate. This is activated now. Now I will go and add the same field database table also. Save this, activate. Just wait for it to get activated. We'll get an notification here once it is activated, I guess. See if it is activated or not. Yeah, it is activated. So now we have added it in database layer. Now next, let's add it in the data definition. For that, need to open data services and data definitions. And first we need to add it in base view entity here. So we'll just copy that bookage field which we added in data base table. I'll just add it here below the title, bookage as bookage, and then I'll just save this, activate. Okay, it is activated. Now we need to update the projection view. So just open the projection view and we will just expose that field here, bookage. I'll just add it below the title, save this, activate. So this is also activated now. Now we have added all the fields in database table and base view entity and projection view entity. Now we need to uh, now the field is visible in our OData service and Fiori elements. Okay, so we can check that also later. And now to define the determination view, so we have decided to add it in behavioral definition, right? So I'll just open that. and open the ZF Bookstore AG. So we will be adding the determination here. So this is how we will add determination. I'll explain the syntax. So I'll just add it before here. Okay. So now if you see, if you analyze the syntax, we have this determination uh, word, and this tells the compiler we are defining an asynchronous calculation inside our business object. And then we have calculateBookAge. So this is the name of our ABAP handler method. And then we have onModify. So this is our execution trigger. Like it tells the RAP framework to run this calculation during the edit phase before the final database commit. Okay. Then we have create field publish date. Uh, these are the trigger events. Like we want this calculation to run whenever a new record is created or when the publish date field is modified. Okay. Now we have added this determination. We can see that there's a warning here. So if you just click on this, hover on this warning, it says determination ZR bookstore AG calculate bookage is not implemented. So for this, we need to uh, you know add method for determination actually. So I'll just click on this warning, and then it says okay, add method for determination calculate bookage of entity like this. I'll just double click on this. So that opened my local handler class LHC ZR bookstore AG that is inside source code library, and it also added these two lines calculate bookage for determine on modify and importing keys for bookstore calculate age. So this is the method for determination. So I'll just save this also. So- and I'll activate. So this is activated also. Okay, now I've added this determinations ABAP syntax. So I'm asking Joule again to help me with the validation also. Like uh, I also wants to test by asking help me to implement a RAP determination or validation. Like what solution does it gives like that. So I'll just click on enter, and it says I can help you to implement a RAP determination or validation. The currently focused object is not implementing a behavior definition. However, I have identified open tabs that contain classes implementing a behavior definition. Please choose one to proceed or open the class where you want to implement a uh, determination or validation. So where it is giving me suggestion also proceed with class ZBP uh, or bookstore AG that is implementing behavior definition. So I'll just click on this. So it says selected class implements behavior definition and contains the following determination validation. Please choose an option to continue. I mean, it's also asking to implement empty determination bookstore calculate age. Now it is asking to describe the desired behavior of the determination bookstore calculate age. So for this, I have this, prompt ready. Just copy this and then remove this wrap logic. It is already there by default. So where I'm asking to read the published date field from the book entity of behavior definition in local mode and to calculate the age of book by subtracting the publication year from the current system year and update the book age field with the calculated age. Okay, I'll just click on enter. See, Joule came up with the solution, I mean, code uh, where it is where it has added few lines of logic. This current year, published year, book age equal to current year minus publish year. Okay, and just open this. Okay, it has used that. So I just need to copy this part of code. So just click on apply here, finish. So now that has opened the class ZBPR books AG of behavior definition, and it has applied also uh, between the started from 16th, and it has added the code, and we can see there's some syntax error here. The specified data object does not have a structure and therefore does not have a component called year. So what we will do, we will just uh, remove this year. Now that is gone, so the logic basically says it fetches the current year from this get system date, and then we are getting the published year. So basically this gives response in MMDD format. So since the response has year in the first four characters, so we're just taking that first four characters and putting that in this field, and then for the bookage field we are just uh, subtracting the current year from the published year. So I'll just click on save and then activate. So it got activated now. But there is other way of doing it also, where you can add this logic. So we can get the current year from this current date field, and then published year. More of the same. It's just added one, like removed that year which Joule suggested, and then we have this we're fetching the current year from that. So where in the Joule proposed code, it is directly fetching the current year from the date and then putting it in the current year field. So we can do both. Since that has a warning in it, I'll just try with this. We'll see like if it the warning will get erased or not. Just copy paste, and then now there's no warning, so I'll just use this part of code. So this is where uh, the developer necessity is there. So the code which Joule proposed, it's kind of generic, and it's not exactly uh, into my code, doesn't fit to my code. So where I just tweaked a small part of the code and it started working. There's no warning actually. Earlier also there was, the code was okay, but there was a bit of warnings over there. So now we have we have successfully added the determination logic now. So now all the syntax errors are gone. Our transactional determination is live. Basically, we added bookage field in database tables, and data definitions put at the base v1, projection v1. Then in the behavioral data definition, we have added the determination logic, and then in the class file of behavioral definition, we have added this validation to calculate the bookage field. So even the field edition reference and database table and base view entity projection view entity, that is all given from Joule. Like while practicing, I gave prompt to Joule on how to add the determination. It did check the whole the whole package and asked me to add bookage field reference in all the layers wherever it is necessary. So here I missed to show that part, but that is all taken referred from Joule, and this part of validation is also exactly correct. I mean the code was correct, but it doesn't fit exactly into my requirement. There was a bit of warning and here was added extra, so I just tweaked a little bit and it started working. I mean everything is saved and activated now. Since it is done, we will move to next task 4 of unit 3, that is add the creation of sales orders in SAP S/4HANA Cloud. So modern SAP development uses service consumption model. Okay, so service consumption model is an ABAP repository artifact that takes an external OData metadata file like edmx file and that automatically generates the OData client proxies. Okay, so before that, since we don't have S/4HANA cloud with me, I'll just show off of the things, theoretical and off of the things, practically like whatever I can show it in my trial account, I can show that. And the other part I'll just explain theoretically as we have trial account limitations. So now let's look at how we can configure this conceptually in real enterprise project. This is for an auditor view for service called sales order A2X API. So to obtain the required edmx file, we can log into the SAP Business Calculator Hub, that is api.sap.com, search for the sales order API, which will be uh, navigated to here. Like you can see this is the sales order A2X API, and you can download the OData IDMX file from API specification tab. So the metadata is basically like map that tells Eclipse what fields the S/4HANA system expects, right? Like we then import it in Eclipse EDT. So let's import that, then Eclipse EDT. For that, to create the service consumption model, we should go to our Eclipse and just right click on our package, that is this, and then click on new and then other ABAP repository project. Here search for service consumption model. I'll just type service consumption model, then click on next. Just give name such as ZSO SAMAG. So service consumption model AG, I'll just give AGE and then um, choose remote consumption model as OData and description as we'll give it as a sales order consumption model. Just select this. Okay. Now I'll just click on next. So now I need to browse that service metadata file. So I'll just download and browse it here. Just give me a moment. So as soon as I browse that file and hit on next, so uh, I got these entities appear here. So basically Eclipse parts that edmx file and generate the proxy classes. Okay, so it analyzes the metadata and it will generate a typed proxy. So you'll see the generated type definition and list of entities like sales order, billing plan. There are many, like all the entities present in that metadata file are here. and then just click on next, and then finish. So you can see something is running in second job. So now uh, to consume that, okay, service consumption model is created successfully. Do you want to open the object in editor? Yes. So now let's consume this. We'll create a class, helper class basically, and we have a Joule panel opened. I will just use consume slash command, and I'll type. I have that prompt ready. I'll just use this prompt. Basically, I just want to, test this API. So I'm asking to create a post request using the service consumption model uh, ZSO SCMAGE to create a sales order with type or and sales organization 1710. So I'll just click on enter. We are gonna receive an error here. I'll explain why I'm receiving error here. So it is saying I have run into a problem, intelligent scenario, usage type, and stateless and details missing. So there's nothing wrong with our code. So this is just because of trial account limitations, because when we type consume in ADT, uh, the editor doesn't generate the code locally. Okay, it hands our SCM to BTP's intelligent scenario lifecycle management, that is ISLM backend framework, to generate the OData client proxy call block. Okay, but since we are in a standard trial account given from, I mean, it's just 30 days trial account, not even the normal BTP trial account which we use. So we don't have the active enterprise BTP booster configured, or is for a system connected in our landscape. So our backend doesn't have that stateless customer trust connection mapping. So in real time environment, the BTP admin would resolve this by, they will log into Fiori based maintain intelligent scenario usage app, or they will run transaction ISLM underscore reuse underscore CFGV, and then they will click new entries and add a new row where they will set the usage type to stateless customer, uh, and map it directly to a secure HTTP destination created in transaction SM59, that uh, like which is pointed to our AI core, right? So that's how the connection gets established between AI core and our ADT, and or else they would establish a secure certificate trust chain, and maybe configure principal propagation, and also that as a secure trust relationship where BTP securely forwards our um, logged in cloud identity to S4HANA cloud, so the outbound proxy can execute specific transactional permissions without ever giving passwords manually. So but since we have this trial account limitations, we can't run the generator live due to the trial limit. But I want to show you exactly how Joule would have generated for us if we had that, that trust bridge, and if everything was available here. So Joule would have given this part of, code to connect, or to create that post call request and all. So basically, this grabs the destination, creates the remote proxy, then populates the type to data structure and executes the uh, call. So that is how uh, architects build side by side extensions and all. So uh, Since we have trial account limitations, I can't show exactly. Maybe you can just go through this part of blocks theoretically on how this is done. There is a bit deviation here uh, between this workbook and what I explained because they haven't completely given prompts to Joule like how I did, but they have explained in detail like the ABAP core things and all. So you can just go through this and understand, and that's all about today. We covered an you know uh, the determination part and difference between CDS wave calculations and persisted RAP determinations and all. And we solved that syntax error which was given by Joule, and walk through the architecture of OData service consumption of S/4HANA cloud integration. So in our next video, we are moving to Unit 4 of our series. So we are leaving Eclipse and jumping to build code to generate a Fiori elements user interface. Uh, so if this video helped you understand how to add determination, why we add determination, or like how to give prompts to Joule in any way, please like, share, and subscribe to Agentic SAP channel. So it really helps the channel grow. Keep experimenting, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.